Hey guys, Matty at BuiltRight here. Today we're going to be showing you how to install a seat back MOLLE panel kit in your 2019 Plus GM truck. We're going to be showing you the tools, we're going to be showing you the hardware, and we're going to be showing you how to install it all. Stick around. So in your kit, you're going to get a large tech plate, you're going to get an upper mounting bracket, a lower mounting bracket, and a hardware kit. You will need a flathead screwdriver, a ratchet, a 7/16 socket, a 9/64 Allen key, a 5/32 Allen key, a 3/8 wrench, and a 7/16 wrench. So to install any of our seat back MOLLE kits, we always tell people your best bet is to move your seat as far forward as you can and raise it up a little bit if you can, and that'll just make working on the seat and installing your seat back MOLLE panel kit that much easier. The first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be peeling back some of the upholstery and making sure that everything is how we need it to be. So on the GMs, to begin to remove the upholstery, you have to pop these little clips off that are holding and springing the upholstery into the seat. Just a little bit of elastic with a plastic hook on the end. Next, we have some zippers that we can hold the bottoms of. It's going to be a zipper on each side. So there's a big piece of cloth that runs over all of the seat frame and the mounting features that we're going to use to mount the lower bracket. So to get that off, you're going to have to kind of pull down on this clip, and you got to roll it around, and they kind of bite into each other. Usually you can get one side started. So we see that this outside one comes down and around and hooks. You take a flathead screwdriver, just wedge it between the two pieces of plastic and roll it down. And once you get a little bit off, it should come off nice and easy, revealing the wiring harness. So the wiring harnesses that are attached to this frame rail that you see, we're gonna have these little push rivets on them. You can use a pry tool, a screwdriver, whatever you might use to pop them off. Or you could always also get behind there with a pair of cutting pliers and just cut the backs off, because we're gonna end up re-securing all of it with the fabric. The next step is there's another piece of fabric and plastic that comes up and over this frame rail. I'm gonna pop that off. And at this point, we should make sure that this frame rail is totally exposed. So we'll work the last of the push rivets out. I find that rolling them around is the best way to pop them out. So this is the seat frame that we'll be bolting the lower bracket up to. So with our lower bracket, we want to make sure that the angle of the lower bracket is such that the closed end is towards the bottom and the open part is towards the top. So if you look down your lower bracket from the side, I can see that the bracket's angling away from the bottom of the seat, which is how we want to orient this bracket. So we're just going to slip it in behind the wiring harness and we'll be good to go. So the lower bracket is now in position, and we'll be mounting it up using the long slots on the bracket and two of the bolts on the frame. You just pick two on either side of the frame and bolt up. We do provide on the lower bracket a hole for you guys to push some of the wiring harnesses back through just to keep them secure, if that's something that's gonna worry you guys. We haven't had an issue yet. So the next step is we're gonna loosely bolt the lower bracket up to the lower seat frame using our 5/8 inch long 1/4 20 bolt and our 1/4 20 nylock nut. We're gonna push the bolt through the back side of the frame, give ourselves a little stud, and just thread the nut onto the bolt. So that's loosely installed. In your hardware kit, you're gonna receive 2 CNC machined headrest blocks. In the same little pouch, you're gonna see 2 of these little rubberized foam pieces. If you peel the paper off, it's adhesive backed, it's sticky. That adhesive backing and the foam is meant to press in to the headrest block, like so. You just take your finger and make sure it's good in there. We give you guys more than enough. So if you want to take a knife and just cut it, to proper length, this is ready to go in the car. So for this portion of the installation, we're gonna need our CNC machined headrest blocks that have our foam installed inside of them. We're going to need our upper bracket, which we have here. So we have our headrest block hinged up on our headrest. We have our upper bracket, which we can nicely set up near the headrest. We're gonna take a 1224 provided button head screw. We're gonna place a washer on the end of it. We're gonna go through. We're gonna use our 9/64 Allen wrench to just start to tighten this single screw down. And that's gonna hold our upper bracket in place while we set the rest of our hardware to mount the upper bracket. We're gonna keep everything nice and loosely installed for the time being, because we're probably gonna need to shift things around, move things in their slots, and make sure that we'll be able to install everything how it should. So at this point, I'm not gonna reinstall the lower upholstery, but I am gonna put things back in place and just make sure that my upper bracket and my lower bracket will be able to marry up. There's no real orientation to mounting up the panel. I like to try to make it so that the slots that are actually centered end up on the upper bracket. So I'll hold the panel up to our cinch down upper bracket and bring it even with the lower bracket and just confirm that they'll go together nicely, which they will. I'll set the panel back down. I'll flip the upholstery back up. I'm gonna get my 7/16 socket on my ratchet, along with my 3/8 inch wrench. I'm gonna take the open end of my 3/8 inch wrench. I'm gonna find the bolt that's on the back side of the frame, and we're just gonna hold our wrench back there while we tighten down. And at this point, with everything tightened back down, if you'd like to reinstall some of the push rivets in the holes provided on the side of the bracket, you can do that. Or a clip that went up over the seat frame back into its position. And if you'd like, you can reattach the long upholstery clip that we removed to begin. So now to install our panel, we're going to take 3 more 1224 button head screws with their washers. We're going to start in the middle on the upper bracket. Start by hand threading, and we can let the panel hang there. Take our 9/64 Allen key. Don't tighten these all the way quite yet. Get them good and started in their threaded inserts. To mount the panel to the bottom, we're going to take a 1/4-20 button head with a washer and a nut on the back side of the lower bracket. So now we're gonna go back up to the top, cinch these down, and start mounting gear up. But I mean, like, they're f***ing rigid. It ain't going anywhere. And with that, your seatback MOLLE panel kit is installed in your 2019 Plus GM truck. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, shoot us an email, give us a call. We'll be happy to take care of you. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.